beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I'm so happy to see you today. I'm glad that you decided to join me, and I hope that you guys are having a great week so far. I know that it is Wednesday already, I believe, and I am just now making a video. I'm so sorry for that. As you guys might have seen on my channel, on my community tab, I'm having a little bit of a rough go mental health wise, and sometimes making videos can be difficult when I'm feeling low, not feeling great, struggling with depression. So I'm just doing the best that I can, but I am here making a video today, so hopefully it's okay. Hopefully it's not depressing content. I will do my best to be a little bit more upbeat and spread the positivity as much as I can. But I also do want to be authentic and, honest in the fact that, I struggle too, and a lot of people go through these things, and it's so easy to feel like you're alone. And I don't want you guys to feel that way. That's like the complete opposite of what I would ever want for you guys. I don't want you to feel like, you're alone in that, I don't know, that you're somehow damaged or broken, and, that other people are just out here doing everything and not struggling and stuff like that, because that is kind of a toxic mentality that, when you pretend everything is fine all the time, then I don't know, it's hard to explain, but when you just act like everything's fine all the time, sometimes you misconstrue things. Does that make any sense? I don't know. I don't want to rant. I'm not ranting. I'm just trying to explain that it's important to me to be authentic, in the fact that sometimes things, aren't always perfect. And especially when you struggle with mental illnesses, things are definitely not always perfect. I don't know if you guys can hear my cat. He is being a little much today. He was actually sitting on my desk for a very long time before I started filming this, being a little ham. He might end up back up here. So, yes. I'm working on a hat. I decided yesterday, finally, did something semi-productive last night. As far as the channel goes, I was like, okay, I need to crochet. I didn't really feel like doing anything. I didn't feel like reading. I didn't feel like crocheting. I didn't feel like, everything just didn't sound good. Nothing sounded good. But I was like, okay, what if I, try to sweeten the pot a little bit? What if I pull out a yarn that I really want to use? What if I use one of my dreamy yarns, one of my special yarns? And what if I start a project that's just one of my comfort projects? What type of thing do I like to make? What always puts me in a good mood to make? Something that's going to work up pretty quickly, And I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, I should make a hat, because hats always make me happy. They work up pretty quickly, but they don't work up super quickly. You know what I mean? Well, okay, they probably work up super quickly for some people. It depends on what kind of hat you're making. By the way, I am crocheting. I'm just crocheting out of frame. Unfortunately, when I film out here, my crochet is not as much in frame as it is when I crochet or when I film in the other room, but this is where I am. So that's one of the things that gets in my way sometimes, especially if I'm struggling with mental health, is that I don't necessarily want to go make a point of filming in the other room. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna film where I am. But yeah, so anyway, I was like, what if I pick out a yarn and I was like, I'll make a hat. And it was really hard to pick a hat, but I even was I went so far as to be I will let myself get a hat pattern, because there is a specific designer that makes some cool hats that I have been wanting to get the patterns for a long time that I hadn't. And her channel, or not her channel, her, shop and website and social medias and all that stuff is Of Mars. So if you want to look her up, you can. I will link some stuff down in the description box. I don't know. I'll put like her Facebook page and her website and stuff like that. I don't know. She has an Etsy shop and stuff like that too. She's just kind of everywhere as Of Mars. So that'll, if you wanted to search her pretty much anywhere, you'll find her with that. She is somebody that does some really cool, she does freeform crochet, and she also does just like colorful, textured type of crochet that really inspires me. It's definitely one of my favorite styles of crocheting, as is apparent in the way that I crochet sometimes too, like when I make hats and stuff. But anyway, I've been wanting to get one of her hat patterns. She does like bobble stitch hats. She has like several different hat patterns, and she uses bobble stitches a lot. And I just love the way they look. So I got myself a hat pattern. I believe this one is the fairy, or the fable hat. Let's see. Yes, fable beanie. This is the fable beanie that I got, that I'm working on. And then I also let myself get into some pretty yarn. And I will insert a clip if I can. I did take a clip when I started the hat. It's not the best clip ever, but I was like, oh, I want to like film just a little snippet, you know, of the beginning of the hat. And I mean, I am still at the beginning of the hat now, but just to show you guys what, you know, it was looking like. And then I'll link the pattern in the description as well. I try to link everything in the description that I think you guys are going to be, you know, somewhat like you might want, because I don't know, I just like it to be nice and easy for you guys, and you can just go click it. That's what I like when I'm watching videos, you know, whenever they mention something, it is so nice to just be able to go to the description and click it, not have to put in any of the legwork to find it. But this is what it is looking like so far. So I've got the brim done, and then I'm starting on the hat itself. Started working up the hat itself. Currently doing some back post double crochets. So I think it's gonna be pretty. Did the brim in a 5mm, and then the hat itself in a 6mm, which is what the pattern called for. And then I'm using, like I showed in my little clip probably, this Halloween yarn, this Universe XL Halloween from Hobbii. This was one of my yarns that I got from Hobbii when I made my first order ever from them. Like, what was it, like maybe 2 months ago? I was so excited about it. And then I did end up making a second order to get more of a specific color for that dragon that I'm making, which is currently in my, it's still going, it's still there, it's just kind of on the back burner. I just haven't felt like working on it. But this was one of the ones that I got one of, and I just love it because purple is my favorite color. Now, granted, purple's my favorite color, but I like a lot of colors. I love a lot of colors, but purple is my actual favorite. So, hey, look, I just noticed. It's kind of got the like same kind of vibe going as my crochet hook. So my decision was that, oops, I'm like tangling my yarns up. I was like, okay, it'll bring me some joy to work on a hat, finally get myself one of these patterns, because I've been following Of Mars and like drooling over her hat patterns for probably 2 years. Like, she's somebody that I've followed for a very long time. Well, you know, relatively, in relation to like how long I've been crocheting and whatnot. And I've just not gotten myself any of her patterns. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get myself one of her patterns. I'm going to pull out this like special yarn, and I'm going to make myself a purple hat. And then I'm using this other one is, oh goodness, what is this yarn called? It's a discontinued yarn. Ice cream yarn. This is one of those, cotton acrylic blend, I believe, ice cream yarns that they don't make anymore. more on the cotton side. This might be cotton only. I don't know. I don't remember. I've talked about it before on my channel. But it is a yarn they don't make anymore. And I have purple, and so I was like, I'm gonna make purple. I'm gonna make a purple hat. I'm gonna basically just alternate every row or every round and go between this sparkly ombre purple Hobie cake and this variegated kind of tweed effect purple ice cream yarn, and I think it'll make a really pretty hat. I'm super excited. I was really feeling like making a new hat. I was so torn on what kind of hat to make. I think soon I want to make another fancy hat, because the last one I made was my autumnal hat that I made in like November, and I was thinking that I'm kind of getting that itch to make another fancy hat again. I was telling my hubby I didn't know what to call this type of hat that I really like to make. Basically is I like to make long hats with lots of different types of stitches or color work in them and things like that. And I want to make one that's like really long and full of different textures of yarn, and this is kind of the thing that I always go for. If you've been here for a while, I've made a few hats this way, where like the goal is to use a variety of stitches, to use a variety of different textures of yarn, even different weights of yarn. I made a Christmas hat last year, not this Christmas we just had, but the year before that. And I love it. It's still probably like my favorite hat. I don't know, man. That autumnal hat that I made last year was really pretty too, though. So the Christmas hat was like Christmas color themes. If I'm feeling up to editing, I will pop them up over here, but I am not going to commit to that just because I don't want to add extra stuff onto my plate right now. I don't want to commit to having to go through this video and find this part and then go track down the pictures. But if you are interested in these things, you can search them on my channel. If you search like Christmas hat or autumnal hat in the little search like thing on my channel, you should be able to find them. But anyway, I really enjoy doing that, and I feel like I'm probably getting that itch to make another. What I was saying is I was saying to my hubby, I didn't know what I should call these hats, because it's like a certain style, like sort of like a witch hat or a fairy hat, like a fae hat or something. And I was like, I think I'll call them art hats, because basically the concept of them is that they're really not replicatable. They're very unique. I'm using like a mishmash of yarns. Usually I'm using basically a different yarn every row, maybe repeating once or twice. But usually it's like I'm really trying to mix up the textures and stuff. Bubbly water. And everything like that. So they come out very unique, and like, I don't know, I feel like they're more like of a piece of art by the time I'm done with them than just like, you know, your regular crochet. Not that regular crochet isn't art, because it obviously is, but you know what I mean? Like some things feel more like art. Maybe it's just me, but in my mind, some things feel more like art, and then some things feel more standard. Like, I don't know. For example, if I was making a washcloth, I wouldn't like consider it to be like artistic, even though it's still fiber art. I wouldn't consider like a crocheted washcloth necessarily to be artistic. Maybe if it was done a certain way, I might, you know, like change my tune on that. But just like a standard washcloth, you know, or like a standard, I don't know, single stitch beanie, like a single crochet or a double crochet or whatever, that you're just doing the same stitch over and over in a solid colored yarn. I wouldn't consider it to be like artistic. But then like when you pull in all the different weights of yarns and colors of yarns and textures, and you really start to play with texture and play with color and stuff like that, I feel like it enters a different realm. I feel like that's where it starts to get kind of, I don't know, artsy for lack of a better word. But yeah. But you can see, even just like talking about these types of hats, it brings out a joy, like a passion, I guess. And so that's what I need right now, is just to focus on things that bring out some passion. And because when I get like this, it's really hard to find things that bring out that passion, things that normally would. Like, I was trying to read. I haven't been able to read for probably like a week, and you guys probably know if you've been around for a little bit, I've been on like a really big reading kick, and playing games and stuff, and just like, I felt myself slipping into this because I would sit down and try to read, and I just like couldn't find that spot, like that mental spot to read. And it slowly progressed until it got to the point where a couple days ago I was like, yep. It goes, I guess it's like, is this going to be like a depressed mood or a depressed day type of feeling to like, okay, I'm depressed. Like, it's a shift, you know what I mean? And I have to actively work against the shift of being depressed. Like, I have to fight my way out of it, and like, it's it takes a lot of energy to pull myself out of that, and it's different than just not feeling okay. Like, you feel hopeless, and if you guys have been there, you know how it feels, and just like nothing feels worth it. Nothing feels like something worth doing. Um and you just don't feel capable of doing things. Everything requires an exorbitant amount of energy. But yeah, so I'm just focusing on things, anything that I can come up with that's going to make me happier. I'm like, that's what I'm going to try to focus on. And we've got car problems going on right now. I talked about that a little bit on, I think it was Friday. I talked about that. That never helps. Like, that type of stuff. I was talking to my little brother. I shouldn't say I was talking to him, but he messaged me and asked how I was doing or whatever. And I was saying, the award-winning combo of depression and car problems. And that's really it. Like, I'm sure everybody can relate to that. Car problems always seem to come and just absolutely crap on you when you're already having something else going on. Like, you never have car problems at a time that car problems like you can handle them. It's never a time that you can handle them. It's like you're financially not able to handle them, you're mentally not able to handle them, and that's always when you have car problems. And then, you go through and you fix the car problems, and you have car problems again. And it's like, but that's life, that's how things are. And I'm just grateful for having you guys, and grateful for having this cozy little corner of YouTube that we've created together. I do feel so much less alone when I feel like this than I would have in the past. I know that you guys are there and care, and it just means so much to me. I'm not very good at talking when I feel like this. Particularly, like, I'm not very good about reaching out in messages and things like that. And it's just because I don't really want to talk about it, to be completely honest. It's a it's one of those things that kind of shoots you in the foot, because it compounds on itself, where you feel alone. Because when you feel like this, I hate to say when you feel depressed, and I keep like, I'm talking myself around it. I hate to say it. I don't like to admit it, because I don't want to be. But when you're feeling depressed, it's so easy to feel alone. It's such a like ostracizing, and I don't know, it's a feeling that just makes you feel pulled away from everybody else. Like you're like, everybody else is here and you're just off by yourself. And when you don't talk to people and you shut down, it makes that worse. But also, like, I don't know, personally, I just don't like to talk about it. I feel like when I talk about it, I dwell on it, and I don't want to dwell on it. I don't know. I have like my way of handling things as I've gotten older has to become avoidant. And I know that that's not the right way to handle things, but I used to, when I was younger, I would dwell a lot. I would sink down into those feelings and I would stay there. And I would stay in these pits of depression for months and months at a time. And like, I lived there. I lived in the pits of depression. And it just is something that I don't want to do. So I really, really fight it and I avoid it. I avoid things that make me uncomfortable or unhappy. And I don't like to talk about it. And I know it's not like a healthy way of handling it, but it works for me. I know that it's not like the way that they would say to handle it, like, you know, professionals would say to handle it, but it works for me to be avoidant. But it also can put me in bad places sometimes, you know, it goes both ways. Because you really are sort of fighting it on your own when you do that. But I've never found that other people can necessarily fight it for me either. Like, other people knowing what I'm going through, like, I guess them knowing is a good thing, but at the same time, like, I just feel like, what are they going to be able to do? I think is the thing. It's the reason I don't really talk about stuff with people. In general, like, not just you guys, just in general, because I'm like, what are you going to be able to do for me? Like, you're not going to be able to do anything for me, and I don't want you to feel like you need to do something for me, because you can't do anything. I don't know, I just feel like I'm pulling other people down into it with me. I'm making other people feel that way, and like, there's nothing they can do. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't even remember the point of what I was saying anymore. Just, whoops, there went my screen. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying. But yeah, so that's kind of the page I'm on. I'm, you know, just doing a struggle. As I do. Unfortunately, I've struggled with depression. I don't remember a time that I didn't struggle with depression. Amongst other mental illness issues. And, I'm used to it. Like, I know it will pass. I just get so frustrated. It's frustrating to work, like, to be working on things and have things that you want to do and goals that you are working towards, that sort of hinge on you being motivated and being passionate, and it's really hard to do that. It's so hard to do that sometimes. I don't even know what just happened with that stitch. But we take deep breaths. And I know that some of you guys are going through the same stuff. We'll get through it, you know, guys? We'll get through it. I do have some happy mail, and I am going to open that soon. I might even open it today. I want to open it soon, but I also want to feel like I am in a place where I can open it and be like as fully like excited and everything. I don't want to let people down. But I am excited to open it, so I will open that soon and make a video about it. This video, hopefully it's not too much all over the place and too rambly and stuff, but it is a crochet and chat. It's not the happiest crochet and chat. I'm sorry, guys. I do think this hat is going to be so cute, though. One of the things I liked about this pattern is she put like the stitch count, you know, like for making your brim, because you start with the brim. You do so many rows. I'm not going to like give away any of the pattern and tell you how many, but then if you try it on and it's like too big or too small, she gave you the repeat for adjusting it. So like you can add on more to it in increments of 4 or take off of it in increments of 4. I can't imagine anyone would want to take off of it unless they're making it for a kid. I had to increase it by quite a bit. I guess I just have a giant head. I do have a big head. I know I have a big head. It's one of the reasons why I like making my own hats, because then I can make really cool hats that fit me. But I really appreciated the fact she put the repeat in there. That's something that I think is so important. Making wearables that are size adjustable, whether it's hats or anything else, I appreciate that. I think it is such a valuable thing. And I'm really glad that that was part of the pattern. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys are doing well. It is Whip Wednesday, so let me know down in the comments what you're working on. I'm working on this hat. I think it's going to be so cute. Let's go ahead and try on this little bit of brim that we've got going on. I'm attached to yarns. Don't want to pull out any of my stitches. Eyeballing it to make sure I don't pull out any of my stitches. So here's what my hat's looking like so far. I'm excited. I'm not very far on it at all. I'm on like row 4. But I think it's looking super, super cute. Anyways, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you and your loved ones are taking care of the best that you can. I hope you take some time for yourself. Take some deep breaths. Make something that's just going to bring you joy, or do something that's just going to bring you joy. Like, you don't got to make something, obviously, but, you know, just do something that's for you, okay? Even if it's just taking a hot bath or a hot shower or sitting down with your favorite drink and just decompressing, make sure you do that. Make sure you take some time for yourself. You're important. I want you guys to know that you're not alone, no matter what you're going through. If you're going through a hard time, especially, I just want you guys to know that you're not alone. I appreciate you so much. I want to say a huge thank you for being here. And I will continue to be here and continue to come back as long as you guys are here. Yeah, so I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. I will see you guys again real soon. Don't forget that Friday is Community Spotlight. So if you would like to be part of Community Spotlight, don't forget to send in your makes. And I'll see you guys again real soon. Bye, guys. Thank you.